if you don't live in the United States and you travel to the United States to go on vacation, you're so fucking weird. Like, I literally don't understand. Like, how are you literally traveling to the worst country in the world? And I say the worst because Israel is not a country. But you're literally traveling to the worst fucking country in the world while they're in the process, or they've already completed, building concentration camps, and they have hired the most racist people all over America to dress up in masks and ski masks and stupid little Halloween costume outfits to go kidnap a bunch of immigrants. At the same time as they're funding a genocide in the Middle East, as they're also helping fund a genocide in Congo, Sudan. And you're like, oh my God, America seems like the perfect place to go on a vacation. I'm literally an American. I literally was born in America, and I live and grew up in Canada. And I literally do not want to go back to America. Like, I'm not crossing the motherfucking border to the fucking, it's like opening to, walking through the gates of hell. That's what I would view it as. It's no thanks. Let's maybe not go to the United States for vacation. Let's literally maybe just not do that. Like, imagine going to the United States on vacation and then just like dying in a mass shooting. Or like, imagine going to the States on vacation and then like being held in jail just from you trying to cross the border, because they just like to hold people in jail and check your phones and steal your data. Imagine going to the States on vacation and something happens to you health-wise and you literally end up with like a $50,000 bill. Or even worse, that's probably just the ambulance to get to the hospital. Yeah, I just don't get it.
This goes out to all my people who have plans to come to the United States or want to come travel to the United States and are like on the fence about it and don't know what to do with everything going on here. Don't come. My recommendation is to 100% boycott this country. Do not spend any money here. Do not plan any travels here. Show them that the world does not need the United States, because they don't. So please just boycott.
Whoa. Okay, so don't come to America right now. I mean, all the obvious reasons why, but this is not safe for you. I just heard about 2 German young men who flew in to Honolulu Airport who were detained by ICE. They were questioned for hours. They were strip searched, naked, strip searched. They were placed in green jumpsuits, and they were put in a holding cell with criminals. Don't come here. It's not safe. It's not safe for me. I'm born and raised here. It's not safe for me. It's definitely not safe for you. Please, 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 please. Don't come here right now. Don't come here right now.
Okay, so let me make sure I have this straight. Trump is going to lower the tariffs on China, and no country has made a deal with us at all on these tariffs. Tourism in the United States is down like 12%. RFK is going to dig into autistic people's personal data to study them, I guess. Pete Hegseth cannot stop sending people things on his personal phone, like classified data on his personal phone. Doge gave somebody in Russia access to the stuff via email, like right after they first logged in. The CDC and the FDA can no longer tell us when E. coli and the next pandemic are headed our way. Trump has tanked our economy. Congress has just let him. Doge hasn't really accomplished anything at all, and now Musk is about to snowflake out. The Trump regime is trying to bully higher education and the media into only doing and saying what he wants us to do. We are snatching people off the streets and putting them in gulags, apparently. So I just have one question for you. Are we great again yet?
Do not come to the United States. A 65-year-old British tourist with a valid tourist visa was locked up in ICE detention for 6 weeks with no idea why she was in there because she hadn't broken any laws. Because she wanted to get out of there, she had agreed after 3 days in detention for self-removal, which waived her right to see a judge and meant she couldn't return to the United States for up to 10 years. Karen Newton and her husband Bill didn't think that they would have any issues with ICE when they planned their road trip through the American West. But when they tried to cross into Canada, the Canadian officials told them they didn't have the right paperwork to take their car with them. So when they got sent back into the U.S. officials discovered that Bill's visa was expired. And here's the truly horrifying part. Karen was told that she was being locked up because she was guilty by association. She had violated the terms of her B-2 tourist visa by helping her husband pack for their trip. 6 weeks in prison. She didn't know when she was going to get out, didn't know what time of day it was, didn't know for most of the time how her husband was, didn't have a lawyer because she was detained and not arrested, and given a top bunk at age 65 that she couldn't get into, so she slept on the floor. And why in reality? Karen was told by multiple sources that ICE agents are given a bonus for every person that they detain.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel once again. In case you are new in this channel or if you are getting this video for the first time, please remember to subscribe, like and also comment. Thank you so much for your love and your support. So guys, MAGA voters, they are really furious about how the world is boycotting tourism in United States, because now United States people, they are not really traveling to United States for vacation, for the maybe going for the tour. So I want you guys to just continue watching this compilation of videos, and at the end then I'll come back with more comment. I'm your host, Team Tessie Reaction.
If you don't pay attention to politics and you are in the UK and have a trip planned to the US, it is time to cancel it. First and foremost, there are all sorts of issues going on with the landing of planes in America and the taking off of planes. There's been all sorts of crashes over the past couple of years because they have defunded their air control. On top of that, there are major queues at all of the airports and genuinely mind-boggling delays because they've underfunded their TSA, which is their airport security. And to fix that, what they've done is they've taken their kind of immigration enforcement, the home office, the people that do raids, and they've put them in airport security. And these guys are freaking weird. They were the guys that shot 2 people earlier on this year. It's the same police force that is disappearing people, German citizens, freaking random people are being disappeared by ICE. Which, if you've not yet heard about ICE, no bueno. Very bad, not good. Kind of a entire rights violation on its own. So between all of that and the fact that you can be disappeared if you don't have an American passport that proves you're allowed to be there, even if you're a tourist, and the fact that they are having plane crashes because they are underfunding their air traffic control, please cancel your trip. The queues alone are bad enough, but going into America right now is a recipe for having something bad happen to you on a big enough scale. You may get lucky on the way in and not so lucky on the way out, and the way out is really the kicker. And if you think you're safe because you're white, there's not even that protection at this point, because if you do not have an American passport, even if you're a tourist, even if you have a valid visa, they can suspect you of all sorts. White people were getting detained by ICE. White Germans, who you would think are the people that, racist Americans would really love, they were getting detained by ICE. So having them at the airport, very dangerous. I don't doubt it will be safe to go to America at some point in our lifetimes soon, but now is not the time.
I am so glad that I've cancelled all travel to the United States. The news just beeped up that the Orange Man has just cancelled all negotiations for trade with Canada. Once again, he's just a bully, and a failed bully, and a misogynist, and a convicted felon, and of course I think 6 bankruptcies. And now he's started war in the Middle East after promising, of course, peace all over the world. And at one point he thought Putin should be the arbitrator of peace. But even more seriously, a Canadian died in an ICE detention center in Florida, a Canadian citizen. So that is on them. That is murder, or it certainly is neglect. I read the other day about a woman of Guatemalan origin not given prenatal care and losing her child and being forced to have a stillbirth in detention. This is how horrible it is. This is so inexcusable. And if you can broaden your feed a little bit just to get news sources from different areas, read all the quotes that keep showing up from Anne Frank, looking out her window during Nazi occupation and saying, men with their faces covered are taking people. You know, that's what this feels like. So from a trade point of view, once again, it is time for us just to boycott. We need to call on Danielle Smith here and Scott Moe. Don't try and suck up to any of this. You know, boycott everything you can, ban everything you can. Everything must be on the table. Canadian oil, potash, but also really good conversation yesterday about perhaps our automobile industry pivoting and finally building a true Canadian car. If that does happen, may I ask for something all-wheel drive that works here in the mountains? But there is some hope. Our country seems to be doing okay. Certainly tourism is booming and Canada is quite united right now. But it is just awful what is happening south of the border. And it is awful the instability that the President of the United States has caused around the world. I mean, and he somehow wants the Nobel Peace Prize. He should be in jail.
Child, tourism is down in the U.S. Let's talk about it.
While MAGA diehards keep chanting, "We don't care," every time someone points out the cost of Donald Trump's policies, international tourists are quietly delivering the one response that matters in Trump's America, which is they're not coming to the United States for vacations. We have new data now from the World Travel and Tourism Council. The U.S. is on track to lose over $12 billion in international travel spending this year. That's a decline of 7%. It's not because suddenly the sand on the beaches is no good. It's not because the theme parks got rid of everybody's favorite ride. It's because the rest of the world sees what the United States under Donald Trump has become: expensive, hostile, and unstable. And they're voting with their passports. Of the 184 countries surveyed, the U.S. is the only one with an absolute decline in international visitor spending. According to the WTC's CEO, quote, "The U.S. has firmly got a 'we're not open for business' sign right now."
Tourism in America is facing a government-induced crisis right now. Some of America's closest historical allies, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, have issued travel advisories to their citizens about visiting America. International travel in the U.S. has been on the rise, and forecasts projected a 9% increase in 2025. However, those projections have now been revised down, with some estimates showing at least a 5% decline and possibly even worse. If we take a closer look at the Canadian travel plans, that 5% drop might be a serious understatement. Bookings for summer flights from Canada to the U.S. have fallen off a cliff. They are down more than 70% compared to last year. U.S. Travel Association warns that a 10% reduction in Canadian visitors alone could result in a $2.1 billion loss in travel spending and cost 14,000 American jobs. If the Canadian travel to the U.S. were to drop, say, like 70% to mirror the airline travel, that would be around 100,000 American jobs lost. What if our other allies follow Canada's lead? The economic damage could be catastrophic. Travel and tourism sectors account for about 6% of American jobs and 2% of the U.S. GDP. A steep decline in international travel would ripple across industries from airlines, hotels, restaurants, and retail, hitting local economies incredibly hard. Right now, the full extent of the fallout is uncertain, but one thing is clear: if international visitors stop coming, the impact on the U.S. economy will be felt nationwide and by everyone.
The America First policy that the Trump administration has been implementing is killing foreign tourism to the United States.
So this is a little bit on a personal observation and a personal note. I, of course, live here in Las Vegas, Sin City, and for years I actually worked on the Strip. In March of 2020, I worked in management at the Paris Hotel Casino on the fabulous Las Vegas Strip. And here are videos of the night before everything shut down. The empty halls that are usually filled with tourists, the turned off slot machines with no one at it, the Las Vegas Boulevard empty. It was scary times, but we kind of got through it. I was out personally for 2 months. Some other friends I have in the industry were out longer, some were out less. But Vegas was hit hard by COVID, and we were just starting to come back and it looks like Vegas is about to be hit hard again. The big casinos, MGM Resorts International, Caesars Entertainment, they're announcing layoffs. I'm seeing from friends and family and people I know, hours being cut, almost some of them to zero. MGM Resorts announced last week that they were going to be laying off all their concierge staff, except for the two at the two properties that are their high-end properties, the Bellagio and the Aria. Vegas is going to be hit hard, guys. People, friends, family in this town that work in the industry are going to be suffering, and these are direct results of two things: Donald Trump's foreign policy and his tariffs, and corporate greed here in Vegas. Because Vegas is no longer an inexpensive getaway; it's a trip to Disney World for adults. And with resort fees and charged parking and the price of generally everything down the strip, Vegas isn't budget friendly anymore. You can't find budget friendly options. And we are about to enter the find out stage of the fuck around of corporations and the fuck around of the Trump administration.
Do you know that tourism generates $2.9 trillion every single year in economic activity? Almost $3 trillion is how much tourism generates in the U.S. every. Look at this comment, and I have thousands and thousands more just like it. Nobody is coming to the USA for tourism, period, let alone in the next 3 years. So what do you think it's going to happen when we lose $3 trillion a year in economic activity times 4? $12 trillion. Did you know that what we generate is $5.3 trillion from collecting our tax every year? We are going to lose more than double what we collect in tax over the next 4 years because the entire world is boycotting coming to the United States of America. We have never seen anything like that before. People say, who wants to come to 1930s Germany? I want you to remember, Republicans did this. Hi, my name's Christina. Buckle up. We are in for a recession or a depression that we have not seen in my lifetime.
Every economic red light in Las Vegas is absolutely blaring right now. It is difficult to overstate how serious the situation is. And of course, Las Vegas is generally seen as a bellwether for the United States economy. But don't just take my word for it. The numbers are staggering. This is the most distressed housing and rental market in Las Vegas since the Great Recession.
Stunning images of near-empty passenger planes are popping up on social media. These international flights have many tourists flying to the USA practically alone. Shauna Massengill flew from London to Chicago. Look, barely anyone on board.
It was really shocking. I've never been on a flight like that.
This flight from Toronto to New York is also practically empty.
The United States is no longer the destination for the best and the brightest to come to study and do their scientific research and medical research. And it's because now we have the ICE Gestapo thugs, and they've rounded up innocent people and thrown them in concentration camps or kicked people out of this country who deserve to be in this country. And so people are reevaluating, and they're going, don't really want to end up in CCOT.
If I did not live in the United States, I would not come here. If I was about to take a trip to another country and it was not absolutely necessary, meaning it was like a very close friend or family member who really, really needed me or needed to see me or some very, very special occasion, I absolutely would not travel there if they were doing to their citizens and non-citizens what's going on in the United States right now. By the way, I'm not one of those American tourists who only goes to English-speaking countries and stays in the city where there are American restaurants. I had a trip planned to Burma before the military regime took over in 2021. By the way, I'm not even talking about morally not wanting to give my money to a country that's treating the people the way that the United States is right now. I'm talking about practically. Because the number of people on this app who are like, I live in bum F nowhere and it's safe here. I don't know why everybody's so scared to come. Minneapolis is one place in a really big country and it's not happening here, so you're safe. Well, you know what? Minneapolis wasn't Minneapolis a few months ago. I say this as someone who lives in an area that's not currently besieged by ICE raids and who just had a friend leave who was here on a tourist visa from the EU. I still wouldn't want my loved ones to subject themselves to the chance that they get thrown into ICE detention.
We're about to lose $90 billion in this country because people don't want to visit the land of the free. And frankly, I don't blame them. Tourism is down, way down, because people are scared. They're scared of being detained, scared of being harassed, scared of the violence. And it makes sense why they wouldn't want to come here because of it. 1 in 10 jobs in the United States are affected by tourism. So when people don't come here, that means no hotel stays, no going to restaurants, no spending money out sightseeing. That's a big impact on local economies. So when tourists stop coming here, jobs are going to disappear. Businesses disappear. It's a big deal when we lose that big money.
If you're planning your next holiday, there are a lot of places to choose from, but one that is falling out of fashion is the US. Since Donald Trump took office, America has reported a dramatic drop in the number of international tourists, and it's impacting the country's bottom line.
The U.S. lost $12 billion of tourism revenue last year. Canadians, Mexicans, Europeans, all boycotting Trump and ICE.
I've just spent about 2 hours probably ingesting all of the media surrounding what has happened in Minnesota today, what is continually happening around the country in America, and I've been in tears and I'm so fucking angry and I just don't know what I can do to help. Like, I just don't know what I can do. So I think the one thing that we can do as people not from there is don't fucking go. Like, I can't believe, like, I am also a part of this. Like, I went to America in, like, October. It wasn't even that fucking long ago. This stuff was happening, and I'm so fucking embarrassed. Like, I cannot believe that I went to a place when shit like that was happening, and it was happening back then, and it is happening at, like, an insane level, and, like, the least we can fucking do is just go somewhere else. Like, go somewhere else. Why are we spending our hard-earned money in a country like that? Like, that is the only thing that I can come up with that is going to be helpful right now. Like, I'm so fucking upset and angry, and I just cannot fathom that we are living in a world where this is happening.
Breaking news this afternoon. So, tourism in the United States is down by at least 20% in some areas, such as Las Vegas, New York City, etc. So I guess the government of the United States does not realize that the economy's trash, tourism is down, and now the administration wants to put a fee. If you apply for a visa to come into the United States of America, they want to impose a fee of anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 in order for you to be able to get a visa and come to the United States. And once you leave, the time that you requested through your visa is up and you leave, they will give you back the money that you paid, supposedly. So, I mean, I don't understand if they don't realize how bad this is going to affect the economy even worse than it is now, how much worse it's going to make travel. Do you honestly think that the way the world is right now, people have $10,000 to $15,000 extra just lying around to pay for a visa to come visit?
They are not lying about Vegas being dead, y'all. I'm a waitress on the Strip, and last year around this time, I made like $300 to $500 a day in tips. And today, I just walked home with $124.
Vegas is just crazy, and there's party everywhere, and then we arrived here, and it was like a dead city.
What happens in Vegas could spell trouble for the U.S. economy. The subject of chatter on social media for months now. Empty streets and casinos. One even saying Vegas is actually dead.
Why aren't Canadians traveling to the U.S. according to the study and survey that you did?
Well, long story short,
they're angry and their feelings are hurt. But one thing that we've seen consistently is that it's the political rhetoric, the trade policies, the tariffs, and so forth that have really made the United States of America less desirable to Canadian travelers.
Please do not come to the United States. We are not the same country we were 4 months ago. It is not safe here anymore. They can pull you off the street. They can detain you. They'll do God knows what to you. They're doing it to our own citizens. They will do it to you. Please do not support American products. Don't buy American. Don't vacation here. I'm very sorry to say this, and I want to apologize on behalf of all rational Americans in this country who are fighting Trump tooth and nail with everything we have. We're sorry. We're doing the best we can to get rid of this guy and all his crooked cronies, but we're having a very difficult time doing it. We handed him the keys. An ignorant populace handed him the keys to this kingdom, and we're finding it very difficult to even slow him down, Frank.
So I was going to make this other video because people are talking about that the tourism and the small businesses are going to be okay here in Florida. Well, I'm in Tarpon Springs, Florida, and we are in a big tourist district called the Sponge Stocks. Normally, we are packed with people. People are walking around. People are spending money. People are enjoying themselves. See this back here? I am the owner of Fresh and Tasty back there. Right there. I can't open every day because we do not have the tourists out here. So, yeah.
So, I don't know about you guys, but me, as a European, I'm pretty scared of traveling to the US. I was thinking about going to the World Cup, but that's not an option. Like, chances are pretty high that I'm gonna die. Killed by ice.
Is anybody else absolutely 100% not going to the US? Like, I wouldn't go to Nazi Germany, so I'm not going to the US. Anybody else? Anybody else like, yeah, I'm good.
One of the many reasons I will never ever move to America. Forget gun crime for a moment. Biggest thing on the rise right now. Death by ICE agent. The amount of terrified citizens in America right now.
A lot of Americans forget that their own cities thrive off of tourism. In 2023 alone, the United States travel and tourism market contributed to $2.36 trillion. And the cities and states that rely heavily on hotel taxes, sales taxes, and other tourism-related fees, less tourism for you means less funding in education, transit, and infrastructure in your city or state.
We're actually watching America isolate itself in real time, and it's already affecting tourism, businesses, and scaring everyone away before they even arrive. You see, US tourism spending has gone down tremendously this year, and that's all thanks to Trump's policies, with a major travel analysis showing that international tourism in the US has actually gone down by 8.2% in 2025 alone, which, by the way, completely reverses the earlier forecast of growth with economic losses of about $12.5 billion since America's a business now. And that's largely tied to tighter immigration rules, tariffs, and an overall negative sentiment towards the United States.
Anybody outside the U.S., visit the U.S. right now. The risks so outweigh any reason to go to the States, in my opinion.
Your travel in the US might be getting cheaper, but it's not for a good reason. Because of all the chaos that's been going on at the US border and more broadly in geopolitics, a lot of people internationally are choosing not to travel to the US anymore. International travel from other countries to the US is way down. Plane arrivals in particular were down over 10% year over year. Bureau of Labor Statistics also reported that March was the first month where we actually saw costs for things like car rentals and hotels in the US go down. Goldman Sachs estimated that in a worst case scenario, we'd be losing $90 billion in GDP just this year due to these international travel trends.
So $250 to enter the United States. If that's not reason enough to boycott, I don't know what is. Now, I'm sure there's a lot to unpack in the rules. It says online a non-immigrant visa, but this could even apply to Canadians, and why that gets my back up. Obviously, I'm Canadian.
Craziest thing about America right now is that, like, the world actually hates us. The entire world hates us. And they've already kind of hated us, but now they like outwardly hate us. Everybody we used to do trade with, all of our allies, the global economy literally hates America. And a lot of these Trump supporters who are still delusional enough to support him, even after he's defunded their child's education, taken their farms away, ruined their veterans' benefits, affected their social security, rolled back their constitutional right to freedom of speech and freedom of press, greatly infringed upon due process for anybody who sets foot on American soil, depleted their tourist economy as well as red state export economies. You know, even after all of that, there's these people who still support him and think that he's doing a good job and don't understand that not only is he globally hated and ruining their lives, people think he's a joke. Nobody's scared of him.
So I'm in Orlando and it's peak March break, and I want you guys to take a look at what it looks like right now. It's literally just my kids and one other couple in the pool, and this is peak March break. I'm starting to think that Canadians are serious when they said that they're going to start boycotting America and American products.
Oh, Mom, these are from the U.S.
Let's see. USA. Yeah, put them away.
Okay.
So in our last video back, we posed the question to Canadians, why is it that you're not coming to the United States for your vacations? Is it economic? Is it political? Is it some other reason altogether? The overwhelming response was, we're not coming to the United States while Trump is in office.
You wouldn't have gone on holiday to Nazi Germany, would you? You wouldn't have gone and spent your hard-earned money in a state that was actively committing a genocide, would you? You wouldn't have knowingly gone and spent your money and therefore supported an economy of a state that was knowingly committing human rights monstrosities, would you? So why the fuck are we still going to America on vacation?
To all the countries around the world that supply America with their goods, you know, from their clothing to their food, to their vehicles, to their electronics. How about we boycott America for a few weeks? Stop sending stuff over there. You know, they have no production over there in America, so let's just see if we can teach them a lesson. Just a thought.
Okay, so I've been getting a lot of this kind of stuff from people not in America. Real anger at America, real anger at Americans, and it's warranted. And I've also been getting this question, you know, what can you do to stop this? And I think this is true for people abroad. If you object to this, and I hope you do, boycott America. That's what you should do. You should hurt it economically. That's exactly what you should do. Don't come here for your vacations, this person says. They wouldn't come here if someone paid them. Exactly right. Don't spend your money here. Don't buy any of our products. Don't buy any of our services. I'm sure you can find alternatives. And why am I saying this? Because the only way America is going to change is if it is hurt economically.
I just wanted to put out a request to anyone that's not living in the hellscape that is the United States right now. Please don't come here. Nothing else is working. Nothing's working. Everyone is protesting. Everyone's protesting. We're saying, no, we don't want it. Stop it. And it's not working. The only thing that speaks to this administration is money. So don't come here. Okay? If you are planning to travel, don't. Cancel your trips. Cancel your hotels. Cancel your flights. Cancel anything you have coming up in the next year. Please. The more expensive it was, the better. If America is no longer a place that people travel to because it doesn't feel safe and we lose out on all that money, maybe that will be a form of protest that our government understands.
Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you have just watched that full message from the reaction from the people towards this MAGA, because the world is boycotting America. We have just seen how on those clips how it really sounds. People, they are really advising, if you want to come to America, don't come to America. So this shows that really America things are not working well. This shows that America dream is dead, because now people, they are diverting from the going to the United States to go to another countries. We have just seen such kind of people like the Canada. They really cancel a lot going to the United States. And also we have also witnessed how several businesses, some small tourist people, how those businesses they are being shut down in United States because of what? Because of that we call it the tourist center. So this shows that really things are really not working well. Things are boiling so fast for the MAGA people because the people who are normally doing these businesses in those countries is the MAGA businesses. Now their businesses being shut down because of what? No tourist center. We have really seen how those hotels, that big restaurant, no customers in, and those people they really depending more in tourist. We have just seen the Florida. Florida is one of the most tourist tourist center, but nobody is really going to America. Why these people are boycotting America? Because Donald Trump really came out with highly tough policies towards another countries. Number one, Donald Trump really banned other countries from going to United States, and that's why you saw how also people really come out and started boycotting going to to United States. This is solidarity for the banned countries. And also these party policies, like he increases the tariffs for so many other countries like China. This was made very harsh for the also tourists to come to this nation because they saw that they're really going to pay a lot of money. And we have such beautiful countries. They have very, very beautiful places. Like we have just seen people really going to Germany, others going to the Canada, others going to the Africa, moving others, but they don't want really to go to United States. This is how now things are really getting very worse to the MAGA people. And also the United States recorded decrease 61%. Imagine tourist center, it has been decreased with 61% in last year, and it has really made a lot of losses in tourist center. And remember, when you have that tourist is one of the most economical thing. This is one of the most revenue. Most countries really get a lot of revenue from the tourist sector, but killing tourist sector is like you are killing the nations. And that's why we have just seen how the treasury being declared insolvent. This is some of things that is really making these things to happen. And remember, he increases the tariffs. Now, people, they don't want to go to America. The Americans, they are really sending warnings to all the world that don't come here. Things are not good. And also, he has also made tough life for many people. Now, getting green card to go to the United States is not easy. Things are very, very worse, and that's why people are advisory not to travel to America. People are going to other nations looking for their vacation, but not America. And also, we saw how he came out and really how he is now handling with Iran affairs. This also sending a warning to the world that this man is also not good for the Americans. That's why people, they don't want to also to associate with him, because if he can really decide to attack Iran and also threatening such kind of Iran, and you also depend such tourists from that country to come to America, they will not come. They will now, it's now the high time these people, they have decided to go and promote other nations and leave America alone, America suffering. And this kind of things, this painful that is really going in America is a system that was built there. This system is really working badly. White people, they are best people, but the system that is put on there, that is how things are really getting worse. And black folks, they didn't vote for this, and that's why they normally come out and say the real that we didn't vote to this. That is how those whites, those black people, they coming out and really saying that they don't voted this. So the people that voted this is the first people that is now crying out. Those MAGA people, they celebrated, they gave in a White House, and that's why you have just seen such kind of clips. People are really tired of the Donald Trump. So guys, I want you guys to hear, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section about this boycott of the tourism going to the America. And also drop that thoughts in comment section. I'm your host, Tim Tessie. Kindly also remember to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please remember to subscribe, like, and also comment. Bye for now. See you in the next one.